rats.
We are rats. What an intro. So the rats are here. We've infiltrated the fan base. We're rats. Big up to everybody who's waiting. There was over 150 people sat waiting. Apologies, I'm late. I was on another show and then I went for a cigarette. Big up to everyone. Smack the likes. Free hit the likes. Everton is close to Liverpool, so maybe that's a free hit as well. Jez, I know it's been a tough week or so for you, mate.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm all right. I'm all right. I mean, shit happens and everything. It just all came at once, didn't it? I just said to you, Kenny, me and my mate Jeff, we had it all planned. We went to United and we had hotels booked. We were going to do Liverpool experience the Saturday and today. And then we were going to go to the Everton game. Tickets booked. I love Goodison Park. I fucking love it. It's great. But it reminds me a bit like the old Highbury, to be honest.
Yeah, proper nice old ground.
It's old. Nice. It's quirky. It's compact. But obviously it didn't happen. Shit happens. But can I just say, people, may I say, I didn't realise how many people out there. I've had messages on Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, on here. God, I bloody hell. I'm nobody. I'm just a old gooner, and the amount of love, mate. I don't know what to say really. It was quite touching, to be honest. Quite touching. We all get a kick in the nuts, don't we, in life? But honestly, guys, I've had people fucking contacting me from around the world, and I'm like, what's going on here? And Kenny, you've been there recently. You know the shit. It's tough. It is tough. But all I can say is thank you. It means a lot. It really does. It just shows what a wonderful, wonderful community we have on Lee Gunner's channel. And Lee, well done to you, my friend, because you've built it, you worked hard for it, and I hope everything goes bigger and better for you because, man, I mean, you, Lee, Kenny, you're very, very kind thoughts you sent to me personally. It means a lot, man. And I'll leave it there because I'll get emotional. But
nah, listen, man. It's the chat. The chat's mad. Yeah, the chat come here for a reason. There's over 300 people watching this already, mate, and we're 3 minutes in, so they come for a reason, and that's not just me. Yeah, it's you guys as well. Yeah, and you're part of the channel as much as I am. So yes, the name of the channel is Lee Gunner, but I don't have anyone on. As long as I've got a camera on, then they can come on, innit? Yeah, and I do that at the end of every watch along. Yeah, so first come, first serve. You get in, I have to do fan cams and stuff like that. Obviously, this is my job, but I don't know what people are going to say when they come on. As long as they've got a camera on, they can come on. Yeah, but it is what it is, man. But Kenny, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, it's been like a bit of a shocker as well. Most importantly, what happened with yourself, Jez, as well, because as you know, there's no handbook for anything like that. It doesn't. There's no warning. And at the end of the day, as I've said before, man, into people the program, doesn't matter what age you are, or how old, the person you've lost is, it's still a massive blow. It's massive, massive blow, And the thing is that, it's just have to look. We just collectively, people like ourselves have been through it. We just have to learn to live. You know what I mean? And I think that's the most important thing as well. Is that, it's all well and good calling yourself nice, but actions always speak for nicer than words. And this fan base is the best in the world because I've seen great kindness. I saw some great kindness in March, late March, April, all the way through to May for Claude. I saw great kindness in July and August for Danny Bailey. I saw extreme kindness as well you know, a month ago when we lost Chig, and we're seeing kindness now for you, Jez. And that's the thing about it. It's about people thinking, you know what, this is a human being at the end of the day. And he's one of our own. And then we all wear red. And that's the thing, you know, we're never going to be alone when things like this happen. People just leave their homes for where they are, and they just give everyone the support. And I think that is why I'm very lucky to be an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
Well said, mate. Well said, 100%. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the fixtures today, watched any of the football, seen any of the goals. Oh, Lucas Moura's goal, by the way. Wow, what a goal. Like, unbelievable. It was like literally watching Messi. Right? I'm not even joking.
Oh,
Like,
you're Messi.
The way he flicked it past someone, then he would like spun, flicked it there, spun, picked it, bosh, top corner. I was like, is that Messi or Lucas Moura? Unbelievable goal, man.
He did score a hat-trick. He did score an hat-trick in the Champions League final, semi-final, by the way.
Well, yeah, he did. He's pretty much lived off the back of it ever since, if we're honest.
Until today, eh?
Well, yeah. But yeah, Man United, they won as well. Fred, that was a good goal as well. Lovely little finish. Not quite sure about his dancing celebration, but his goal was good. But they're now both above us.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it was only a couple of weeks ago before we played Newcastle, I think. No, it was after Watford, wasn't it? Yeah, after the Watford game. Everyone was laughing. Then we played Liverpool. We were still above them. And again, everyone was laughing. Let's laugh at Man U. We've lost 4-0 to Liverpool, but they lost 4-1 to Watford. Yes, we do have a game in hand. But we're level on games with Tottenham, who are 2 points ahead of us. Their game in hand is Burnley. If they win that game in hand, they will leapfrog West Ham into the top four. That there is a reason for concern, right? Because for as good as we may have been on an unbeaten run, Tottenham are above us, right? And they've sacked a manager. They've apparently got a worse squad. They've apparently a relevant football club, even though our fans think they're our main rivals. But they're actually above us, right? And they've got a miles better manager now, which will elevate them. And you can see that today I watched it. The good thing about DAZN is I can flick through, so it'll pop up. If I'm watching one game, it'll pop up that there's a goal at the next game. So I click a button in the top corner of the Mac, and it takes me to show the goal. Then I can flip straight back. Yeah, it's quality. So I've seen all the goals. I was like, okay, they're looking like they're playing all right, Tottenham, at the minute. We're not, however, playing very well. And we're coming up against a team that are playing worse than us. This is going to be a bore fest, isn't it, Jez?
Well, let's just put it into perspective here, shall we? We're now 7th, coming up to Christmas, -3 goal difference. And I'm going to give you, well, we know this fact, but this could be coincidental. And it could be, okay. We know we're not going to get relegated. We know that. But 1913, December 1913, on the 7th of December, we had a -3 goal difference and we're second from bottom. Now, I know we're not there. We're not, that's, so, but Arsenal Football Club haven't had a -3 goal difference in December since 1913. What does that tell you, people? So we're now 7th, right? We're now 7th. So we're one place above where we were this time last year. And we're playing Everton away, who are fighting for their lives. And will want to put out a performance. Rafael Benitez will want to put out a performance because his job is on the line. So what does that tell you? What does that actually tell you about this Project Youth evolution? Evolution, that's the new term, guys. That's the one I heard the other week. So somebody please tell me, I'd love to fucking know, where are we actually going to go? Because we are a sinking ship. with no captain, he's fucked off, basically. You know, our captain, Aubameyang, is fucked off because he's not a captain. And I can say the first half that I actually did see the other night, he doesn't talk to anyone. He runs around chasing balls that he's never going to get to. And I'm thinking, why are you bothering, man? Because you ain't ever going to get there. You know, you're not like an Olympic 100-meter sprinter, you know. And that's all you do now. You run after loose balls and you don't talk to your team. He's shit. He's gone. He's done. Fucking sell him. Piss him off out of here because he's 300 grand a week. I'll tell you now what a guy does, right? He looks up his next Lamborghini and he looks up, oh, what's I get wrapped in next week? Or I'll get it in 4 months' time. That's it. The guy's fucking done. Piss off. You know, I'd rather see, I'll be honest with you, I might be a bit harsh tonight because, you know, I might be, but I'd rather see Ramsdale as captain because Ramsdale is showing qualities I didn't think he had, and he can see the whole picture. Because when things go wrong in his box, he's giving it he's bollocking the shit out of players. Now, let's go back. I'm sorry if I'm going on.
No,
but
that's all right.
When we had the great defences, when we did with Adams, Keown, Bold, and all that, Dixon, Winterburn, Tony Adams was. You never argue with Tony Adams, man. Yeah. If he told you to do something, you either did it or he'd kick you in the bollocks. You know, you didn't argue with the man. And Aubameyang shows no leadership quality whatsoever. So if he can't show leadership qualities, what do you expect from the rest of the team? Now, he should be turning around to Odegaard and saying, fucking start playing, man, or I am going to kick you straight in the bollocks. If you've got some, which you probably haven't. And basically, you know, earn your fucking money. Because, man, you are, I mean, all right, the other night, what I saw in the first half wasn't too bad. I didn't see the goal, but you know, we need some people to stand up with some proper fucking bollocks and actually stand up. We could have taken Man United the other night. I listened to it on the second half and listened on the radio on TalkSport coming back, and left the taking. And I'll shut up now.
Mate, you're right. You're right. I think a lot of people are saying Aubameyang's down tools. I think it's a bit of both. I think he's lost a yard of pace, 100%. That's the case. He's definitely lost some speed. And he's probably bored of playing left wing back because that's pretty much what he's playing. You know, this is one of the most prolific strikers in Europe when we signed him. Yeah, we couldn't believe we'd signed him. You know, and we didn't have Champions League. That just proves Champions League qualification is a load of rubbish. You don't need that to get good players, you know, or good goal scorers. And we've played him on the left under this manager pretty much the whole entire time that he's been manager. And I think he's bored of it, mate. Yeah, and he's running around and he's looking around at his teammates and he's thinking, I'm running up and down this left wing. And then I look around and there's nobody behind me because they're all in the halfway line. Yeah. Odegaard's on the right-hand side, just doing whatever he's doing. And Lacazette's the only one that actually, you said it the other day, we look so much better when they play together. You know, or he looks better anyway, Aubameyang. And he's probably just bored, mate. Like, I don't blame him. And I don't think he's not one of these players that's just going to come out and totally down tools, I don't think. Like, I don't think he's that person. But he's looking around and he ain't giving it 100%. Like, but he ain't giving it 0% as well. I think he is trying, but he's just probably fucking knackered. He's probably never run up and down a flank so much in his life. Right? Normally he's in a penalty box, goal hanging. Like, now he's up and down, up and down, up and down. And at 30 odd years old, you probably are right. He's probably finished. Yeah, because unless we put him back up front and build a style of play and a team structure that are played to his strengths, he's probably finished. But Kenny, what do you make of Aubameyang?
Well, it's no surprise. It's no surprise because we've tackled. Well, we tried to discuss this problem, try and tackle it. By this time last year, there were loads of concerns about his performance, his lack of form. You know, people put it down to the fact that he had COVID, and then there was problems. I know he had to go back to was it France because his mum was ill. So it's all the sorts of disruptions, and then he just hasn't been himself. Apart from the goals in the Charity Shield and the goal against Fulham, there wasn't these kind of spurts of goals. He wasn't the only one who lost his confidence, but he's our main man. And then you had the silliness not turning up in time for Tottenham, and then all that sort of thing. And North London derby, he just isn't the same player. He has lost a yard of pace, and when you're someone who relies a lot on your pace, then you lose a lot of effectiveness, and I think that's what Aubameyang's lost. But we had discussion at the beginning of the season, and we're going to be having discussion as long as he's in the team. It doesn't become a discussion until we sell him. But then again, if Mikel grows a pair and drops him, he becomes a story again. But the fact is that he is not the man to lead us to where we should be at the end of this season, and he certainly shouldn't be captain because he's no leader whatsoever. And that's the problem with Arsenal Football Club. We have no leaders, and what we're doing is we're opening the door to the inevitable, which is getting Granit Xhaka back into the starting lineup, because there's a few people now who are saying, "Oh, we need a leader. Oh, Granit Xhaka's our midfield. He's this, and that," and that's what happens when you do have situations where you just get anyone to be the captain. But Aubameyang, the forward, in the positions you play, this isn't there, man. Even the chances he's not taking. I mean, Thursday, regardless of whether the flag went up or not, the fact is De Gea shouldn't be saving that. Not from that. From about 5 yards out, you put them away, mate. You put them away and ask questions later. But to go into a situation where he's missed a chance, the flag don't go up. That's another missed chance. I mean, that's on the back of the chance he missed against Newcastle. And it's just loads of things. We always, overlook the fact he can't work with his back to goal. We always overlook the fact that he's not good holding the ball up, and that he needs to be on the shoulder. And that was always my main concern with Aubameyang. Yes, he was scoring loads of goals, and yes, because the thing with Aubameyang is that it's not a case of we've all said all bets are off. We used to have debates last year about whether he should play centre forward. Well, we played him centre forward. It's not working. We've played him on the left, not working. On the right, it's not working. So it's not a case of the fact that he's just been dumped like a bad habit. Everything's been tried by the manager. The fans are trying to get behind him. Let's just cut our losses in January and just see that it's still close. It's too close to call in terms of mathematically trying to get in the top four. Obviously, we're not stupid. We know that if Man United get it right and Tottenham get it right, that it'll be them, not West Ham, not us, that be fighting for that last fourth spot. Common sense states that, because they got superb forwards, and Man United have got the quality in around their team, and they just need the quality, organisation. But whilst we're there mathematically, let's give ourselves a chance and buy in January, because as Jay says, -3 goal difference just says everything about Arteta's management. Since he's come to the side, if you notice, our goals for column, especially, hasn't been of the standard that normally would get Arsenal into the top four and even into Europe. That is Arteta football for you.
100%. What do you both make of him liking Cristiano Ronaldo's winning goal celebration post on Instagram? Do you think that's just I rate him as a player. He's the GOAT player. That's his GOAT, maybe. So I'll like his post. Or do you just think you're taking the piss? You're our captain. It's just lost at that ground, and he's the geezer who scored the winner. Yeah. How do you see it?
I'll be honest, mate. I can't comment. I haven't seen it, so sorry on that one. I'll have to bypass that guy. I haven't seen it.
The thing with me is there's a lot of people, you know, said, "Oh, get him out of there! How dare him do that?" Blah blah blah. Fair enough. That you know, he's like to comment. He's quickly take it down. But for me, I'm all about footballing reasons for him to be out of the team or losing the captaincy. I'm not about what he's done. You know, he lost me for footballing reasons, not for that. You know, my mind's already been made up. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be one of those sort of like hang and shoot and witch hunt types, because, you know, as you know, the reason why we're called the Rats is because we are despised by the hang and shoot and witch hunt types, and we certainly don't want to be joining them. Not a chance of I joining them. You know what I mean? I'll do what I do best, which is stick to footballing reasons for him to be out of the team or lose the captaincy.
Yeah, big up to everyone watching, man. 600 people here. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you are free hitting the likes and sharing the stream around as well. And yeah, Everton, Jez, they've been in free fall, man. They've only had 2 draws in their last 8 games. So what better team to rock up and give them 3 points tomorrow than Arsenal?
Santa Claus Arsenal, isn't it? Santa Claus Arsenal. It's Christmas time, you know. We love to give these teams a free hit.
Well, you know what? You know what? People using that liberally, but it was all over Twitter before the Liverpool game. You know what I mean?
Mate, all of these top gooners that were putting it all over Twitter are now muting the words on Twitter after peddling that, because people like us have taken the piss out of it since the day it was said. And I'm going to keep taking the piss out of it all season. So they can keep crying and muting it and saying it's getting boring now and this and that. Well, it's getting boring listening to you lot hold the football club back every week. Yeah, by saying stuff like free hit. So I'm going to use it all season. That's why the title of this video is Everton is close to Liverpool. So is this a free hit? You can literally see Everton's ground from Liverpool's.
You can. But in all honesty, I'm going to give positivity. If we start like we did against Man U Thursday against Everton, I can see a positive result. But I have yet to see an Arsenal team under Arteta carry through for 90 minutes. I don't know why. I will tell you why. I fucking will tell you why. Because he fucks around with the team. I apologise for swearing.
No, you say what you want, mate.
He ponces around with the team. He did it the other night. I'll tell you what, there was one point Thursday night. He was 10 yards outside of his technical area. I don't know. I do not know what he was doing. And we were in the away section, and there was guys sitting there, younger than me, older than me, and they say, "What is he actually doing? What is he doing?" He's like, I don't know. I mean, he's like doing this, doing that, doing this, and is this modern management? I'm thinking maybe I've got it all wrong. Maybe I don't understand the game anymore. Maybe I've got dementia. I don't understand it, but it's just bizarre because he's like pointing everywhere. He's not like talking to Tommy Asu and saying, "Right, mate, come on, I need you to push. I need you to push up here." As they're going back, we've got to push, and as they come, you come back deep and you hold your line, and that makes sense. But when you're doing,
and you're doing it to a player that's on the opposite side of the pitch,
and
you're like,
what is that?
What does that mean? No wonder our players look like bemused. Like, I know why he does all this now. I figured it out. It hit me in the press conference reaction the other day. This was after he said Saka has to be comfortable playing with injury. And top gooners have said, oh, he didn't mean it like that. Well, he did, because he said it. It came out of his mouth, mate. All right. And then he played him with an injury in the second half. Yeah. Right. And I swear my daughter's got a harder shot than him. Yeah, maybe that's he's got no energy left because he's been overplayed. But it hit me in that press conference as to why this guy is always micromanaging, right? Because he was asked a question: how do you set up against Man United knowing that they've got a new manager, even though he won't be in charge for the game, right? Obviously, there's going to have been different thought processes coming into the club, etc., etc. He said, well, they can play many different formations and they can use many different players. So it's very hard to guess or think about what they're going to do. We just have to concentrate on what we're going to do. And I thought, that's what you do, isn't it? You don't look at the opposition. You go, this is how we're going to beat them, and we're sticking to how we're doing it, right? And then when it don't go right, you start.
Yeah.
That's why. You know, if he was a good coach, like everyone keeps telling us, right? If he was the best young coach in world football, which he ain't because he's at Bayern Munich, right? If he was that great, he would have set up 7 or 8 different formations and starting 11s for Man United's team. Yeah, a system with Ronaldo as the striker, a system with Ronaldo as the left winger, a system with Rashford as striker, Martial as striker, different midfields, 3 at the back, 4 at the back, whatever at the back, right? And then all he's got to do is just drill his team on each one. Right? Just say, right, this is what we do on this one. This is what we do on this one. This is what we do on this one. Then when you go to the game and you get the starting 11, right, lads, we're going with option number 3 that we tried and tested. Bish, bash, bosh. Instead, he don't. Right? And people say, oh, well, we done all right. It was 2-2 and then it was a stupid. No. Right? Let's have it right here, yeah? That goal was coming. That Bruno goal at half-time was coming as soon as we scored, we just went, whoops, let's sit back. Now, this is another thing I've seen a lot of people. Somebody sent me a tweet earlier, and I went and read every single comment on it, right? And it was the narrative now that on that, and there was hundreds of comments on this tweet, yeah, was along the lines of, it's the young players that fall back in defensive positions because they're young and naive, and it's the older players that are not dragging them up the pitch and saying, come on, lads, let's go. No, motherfuckers. It's the manager telling them to do it. Wake up. Wakey. It happens every week. So on that basis, then, let's assume it is the players. Right? Let's assume it is the players. And the experienced players, because apparently Mikel has called out the experienced players in a press conference after the game and said, we need them to help us get through games, right? Which is cool. Yeah, he's entitled to do that. So on that basis, then, has he lost the dressing room because they've down tools and they're not listening to him? Because weren't this what they were saying about Unai Emery? Oh, the players have stopped listening to him. So it can't have for one manager and not the other. These lot are deluded, mate.
Yeah, but you've got to realise, right, is that Mikel carries a lot of support with these fans because, you know, as I said before, you know, in the fan cam, and I said it in the player ratings, it depends what you want. If you want an Arsenal team that is difficult to beat, that is okay defensively, or you want to use that word defensively sound, and most importantly, is organised and we're difficult to beat, then Mikel Arteta is your man. Because if you listen to people in the media chair, you know, our good friend Kevin Campbell and everything, Mikel Arteta has got Arsenal defensively more sound, and he's made them more organised and have a structure, whatever structure that is. They say he's got a structure and he should be commended for that because it was all disorganised towards the end of Arsene Wenger's reign. It was very disorganised under Unai Emery. The common denominator, despite the fact that we were dissatisfied with Arsene Wenger and then Unai Emery, we couldn't back him as much as we should have, was what Arsenal were good at. These two managers, i.e. Arsene Wenger and Unai Emery, never shied away from that. We were always on the front foot, and we were always, you know, in the high charts when it came to attack. There's a fact. The goal for column in under Emery was impressive. Defensively wasn't great, and the same thing with Arsene Wenger. So what these guys are saying, trust the process, youth project, Mikel Arteta has given us a new structure. Is they sacrifice what we're great at because what we were great at is going to get us into Europe and get a chance for
Yeah.
the top four.
Yeah,
Despite
goals
that.
win your football matches. It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that. You know, we when we were getting the top four regularly, which everyone called an achievement, we were always complaining of the fact that we were always open in the big six games, and that especially away from home, Man City, Everton, so Man City, Man United, when they were strong at the time, obviously, Chelsea, and Anfield as well, that were always susceptible to a battering. But we always managed to contrive to get to the top four quite comfortably because, you know, we were good at. We were flat track bullies. We're not even that now. We're not even that now. So that's our identity. This is what the fans want. They want organised football and they want to trust the process. But guess what? There isn't time in football. So if you want to back this manager, fair enough. But just accept you're backing a team that's always going to finish in 8th place.
Yeah, and that's fact. Mate, spot on. Yeah, he's killed off the attacking threat. And let's have this right here as well, right? When these people say, "Oh, he's the youngest manager in the league," we've got the youngest squad in the league. For youth project this, youth project that. You do realise that we chose to do it this way, right? It doesn't just. It's not a thing that was forced upon us because we're in financial difficulty or financial restrictions due to FFP or anything like that. We actually actively chose to go and employ the youngest manager in the league. We actually chose to go and sign young players. We have spent an absolute fortune on this club, on this squad. Yeah, that squad, right? Well, Arteta's done 240 million he's done. Now add in how much that squad is actually worth on their transfer fees that we signed them for. I guarantee it's over £500 million. Yeah. Well, Aubameyang's 60. Yeah, so that's now 300 million. Now add in Lacazette at 50. Xhaka at 35. Gabriel.
Pepe 72.
Yeah, Pepe 70. It's well over £500 million, that whole squad, mate. So nobody can sit here and tell me, right, that we should not be competing, right? But we have actively chose to do it in a way that lowers the standards, and it takes time. It takes time, and people buy into it, and people are very weird creatures, right? And that's just in general. They're very weird, right? If they can see something different to what they were seeing before, i.e. the goalkeeper situation, right? So we've got a goalkeeper who's come in. He's been brilliant so far. So now he's the best thing since sliced bread, right? So they're going to suck off this goalkeeper all season, right? Hopefully he carries on being great because he has been, right? But he's better than Leno. So they can see an improvement. So that's cool, right? Nuno Tavares, a couple of good games. All of a sudden, he's the next Roberto Carlos and he's better than Tierney. Well, I think we've seen quite quickly that he fucking ain't. He can't defend, right? As soon as he comes up against half-decent players, he cannot defend, right? He done it at Anfield. He done it at Old Trafford. He gave Rashford 20 yards of space to pass that ball into Ronaldo because he was too busy thinking about going that way, right? But that's a nice new shiny toy. Oh, Nuno Tavares, let's keep him. Let's play him every week.
Lee, you know the thing, Lee, the problem is we got is I don't know if you heard this saying, like it's from Mark Twain, and I think Winston Churchill nicked it as well. You know, before the truth puts his trousers on, the lie will travel. And what I'm trying to, and my analogy is that it's a sort of what it translates into. If you want your version to be believed, you've got to get out there first. And what I'm trying to say, in terms of the fan base we have now, i.e. trust the process fan base, they have stolen the march because they had big accounts. There was a reason we were called rats, remember?
Yeah.
Now, the person...
It was about this time last year we were told we were rats.
No, the person who called us the rats and the channel that the person was involved in is one of the biggest channels out there. So again, they've stolen the march in terms of let's back the manager, and then other publications or channels have followed. So they got there first. So basically, what's happening right now? That is now the majority viewpoint now. Back the manager, trust the process. There is structure. We are organised. We are sound defensively. Oh, by the way, we're fifth in the table until last week. what they complain about. Oh yeah, Arteta's really got to go. And then so if you go on certain programs or channels, or you go on Twitter, what the WTF is Arteta out trending, or any other things are trending, because the narrative behind the fans is, at the moment, let's trust him. Don't get me wrong, there are going to be people who are going to disobey, but if we win, they go back to their sound position, because that's what the majority of fans think, because they got their message out there first to back the manager, and they've been backing him from day one. The fact,
listen, I don't have an issue with people backing the manager. I don't think any of us do.
Yeah.
Right? But it's the way they do it.
Well,
Like, it's the way they do it. It's like, as soon as there's an embarrassing defeat, oh, it's the players let him down. The players let him down. Oh, it's a disgrace. He needs all of his own players. He needs all of this. He needs all of that. He is the only manager in the world that needs a whole 25-man squad of his own players to actually be half decent.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah, man, I'm going to grab a beer, but I can't hear you.
Yeah.
So, when we started off with this process, evolution, development, call it whatever you fucking want, can anybody actually tell me what the ending timescale of this is?
Oh, it's ongoing. It's ongoing because the thing is that it will take time, because for reasons that
how long, man?
Well,
5 years?
4 years, mate.
7 years? 10 years?
I think the time it's indefinite, because the fact is now is that they've latched onto. If you look at the main song in the football club, it's it's kind of a status quo version of Saka and Smith Rowe. So if you're going Project Youth, then the two players that you're going to label Project Youth on is Saka and Smith Rowe, which means we have to be patient until they grow into top players. Then we can challenge. That is how long.
That's exactly the narrative. 100%.
That is exactly what they want us to do. Take time, because there's loads of things we've got against us. Oh, Liverpool and Chelsea and Man City. No, we're no level their level.
Yeah, the funny thing is, they haven't got a
money.
leg to stand on though with Chelsea, because when Chelsea played Man United the other day, right, they had 4 starting 11 players that came through Cobham. And all 4 of them are better than our fucking Project Youth. Let's not even blag it.
Did you see the Juventus game? Did you see the Juventus game where they had 6?
Yeah, and not only that, Chelsea brought one off the bench as well. And you could potentially throw Lukaku into that mix as well, because he was at Chelsea in their academy. Not that he came through from a young age, yeah, but he was still in their academy. So you could potentially say that he was there. Then they had Christensen on the bench. He came through the academy. So when people want to sit and talk about a youth project and this and that, well, how comes Chelsea are doing it? How comes that manager has only signed 2 players since he has been there? And he's been there nearly a year. He's been there 10.5 months, right? And he's signed 2 players, one of which has been sat on the bench, Saul Niguez. He's barely played. So how comes he can inherit a squad that's full of youth who have come through their academy and gone into a team? And then I've seen our fans sitting there saying that Partey's better than Kovacic. Okay, so Partey's better than Kovacic. Okay, is Partey better than Kante? Because I've seen somebody say that as well. Jesus Christ. So let's assume Kante's on the bench for a lot of games this season. So Kovacic is starting. So this is Kovacic nobody really rates, and Partey's better. So how comes Mason Mount flourishes around Kovacic then? How comes? I don't get it. How comes Reece James is flying at right back? How comes Chalobah is flying at right back? And they're not playing week in, week out. They're playing one-on-one off pretty much. Yeah. How comes Hudson-Odoi is having a good season? How comes Pulisic's still a kid? Let's be real. He is still a kid. I don't particularly rate him. Yeah, but when he's fit, he does tend to get goals. Yeah, when he's in the team. Then you've got who's the other one? Kai Havertz. He's the only one you could say, because he's only 21 or 22. Yeah,
Champions League winner already. Champions League winner already.
Champions League winner already. He scored the winner in the final. And I know he's not been great for them by any stretch of the imagination. When you actually look at their squad, where is the world-class players that are helping these? You've got Kante, And you've got Thiago Silva. The goalkeeper, you could debate is world class, although going off of yesterday, probably not.
No, he's world class. That was
he is. He's quality. He's just had a mare, isn't he? But them three players, who else?
Say to you, basically, something very, very important. What you've said, Lee, Kenny, about Chelsea set up, it basically just says that Arsenal's management structure from top to the bog cleaner is rotten to the core. Yep. Hale End is fucked. When we look at whoever is our shooting coach, he's fucking crap. Needs to go. Because I think he'd be better off coaching the England Rugby World Cup team, because they score more 3 points. Partey, people like that score more points over the bar than they're ever going to score on goal. Free kick taking coach. Well, you're pretty pants as well, aren't you, really? So it just says to me that the whole setup from top to bottom is pony. That we don't have a good structure, we don't have a management structure, we don't have a good coaching structure. Our setup at Hale End is crap. Our setup throughout is crap. And until such time, and I'm going to say it, until we have a proper management team in charge with a proper owner. Yes, and I know what you're saying. The Cronkies have ploughed money in. Not ploughed money in, but they've allowed big money to be spent by idiots who don't know who they're doing, what they're doing, who they're buying. Edu, Vinay, all these people, they've got to fuck off. Because I'm sorry, until they're gone, we ain't going to change nothing. Because they are absolute wankers, a lot of them. Nothing's going to change people. It's going to be a rocky road for a very long time, until such time somebody comes in and buys this club, gets rid of these idiots, and we get a complete clear out, bit like Yorkshire county cricket team, clear everybody out, all gone, goodbye. I'm not into cricket, but
it's true. Yeah, well, that's what normally happens. Yes, when you get a new owner, invariably the first thing the new owner does is that the new owner will have their own ideas about what they want to do. But what they'll do is that rather than implement themselves, they accept the fact they don't know nothing about football. So the second thing they'll do is say, right, they'll go and say, right, you're my advisor. Get me the best people behind the scenes who's going to make my club successful. And I want them to be able to appoint me the best manager available, because the club I inherited, that manager is doing all right, but I want to challenge yesterday. And that's what they do. A new owner invariably gets rid of the current manager. The current manager don't have to do anything wrong, probably don't do much right, but they go. Look what happened with Abramovich. First thing he did, Ranieri was vulnerable from the time Abramovich put that tie on when he went to Anfield when they won 3-1. Even though he got his best results that season for Chelsea, he was a goner because, they got Peter Kenyon in, and Peter Kenyon went, right, he's no Alex Ferguson, I'm going to get my own man in. And that's what normally happens. The same, look at Steve Bruce, same thing. And that's what you're always going to have with a new owner. New owner invariably will get their own man in, and that's the only way you're going to get a clear out, because simple reasons that they want to win. They want to win.
Well, the thing is, Kenny, the problem we've got is that we've got a weak manager, totally clueless. And it sums it up. That I watched your stream, Lee, with the press conference. Total delusion, total confusion. Hasn't got a fucking clue what he's talking about. Talks in riddles. Talks to Wenger. Now, that is a seriously worrying fact that you need to talk to an ex-Arsenal manager who's working at FIFA, who's got delusions of wanting to bring in a biannual World Cup. Why? That's scary because it's money for FIFA. He's got a situation at Man United where an iconic manager, total absolute respect to Sir Alex Ferguson. We're never going to see a manager like him ever again in English football. And I can respect that a new manager coming in wants to talk to him about, I forget the quote now, I read on Sky Sports, that he wants to understand the philosophy and he wants to revamp how Man United structure is. I think I may have got that wrong, but it's something around those lines. Now, Arsene Wenger, in his day, was awesome. He transformed the club, played great football, sexy, brilliant, fantastic. Yeah, can't knock it. Stayed too fucking long. He was a control freak, and he took the club in totally wrong direction, fucked us all off, lied to us, and basically shagged us all up the arse as fans. Now, why would you, Mikel Arteta, want to be talking to a guy who has been out of the game? He was out of the game for 10 years at Arsenal.
Yeah.
We went fucking, we do nothing. Fourth. Oh, third loser every season. Okay. We're getting in Europe and getting raped every fucking year. And, we have to get it right, people. Arsenal have never, ever been a great European team. We haven't. We've got two European trophies. Is it two? Yeah, it's two, isn't it? Fairs Cup, Winners' Cup.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. So we're in Europe for 25 years, European Cup, Champions League, got one final, semi-final, and did fuck all. So, Arteta, Mr. Arteta, I know you're watching, because I know you love watching me, because I like to give you advice, and I'm giving you some fucking advice, okay? Fuck off. Don't talk to Wenger, and just piss off, basically, because you're going to take us nowhere. We're now 7th, -3. You're creating another lovely record, mate, because by the 7th of December, yes, 7th December, we will break another record with Arsenal of -30.
Another one.
Yes, and let's think about that one, shall we? 108 years. 108-year record broken. Now, if you do that, Arteta, then there's got to be a fucking plaque put outside the Emirates by your stupid picture of the most sexy prick we've ever had as a manager.
Best looking Spaniard. What's the record he's breaking?
Sorry? 1913. -3. 7th of December.
Oh, is that when it is? The 7th of December?
The last time we got relegated. Now, I know we're not going to get relegated.
No chance to get it.
But I'm saying 7th December, if we're still at -3, or worse, if we lose tomorrow night, let's say we lose -5. Let's say we lose 2-0, -5. Well done, Arteta. You complete an upper. See you next Tuesday. And you deserve. I'm not going to say what I say. But
mate, it's mad. I'd love to know every individual record he has broken, the wrong records, because I see True Geordie sitting there with Lawrence the other day, and Lawrence McKenna was reading out every record that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer holds at Man United. Yeah, like worst start to a season in 30 years, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Worst start to a season in 48 years, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Worst start to a season in 60 years, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It was just reeling off one after another. Yeah, biggest home defeat, or joint biggest home defeat. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Biggest Champions League defeat, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I guarantee if you did that for Arteta, yeah, it would be exactly the same.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly the same.
I think the thing with Arteta, right? Arteta, right? He got. You want me to be honest, right? And I know, like, people who are very supportive of Arsenal and Wenger are not going to like this, but Arsenal Football Club should have stayed well away from that. You know, that invincible screaming. Josh Kroenke, Mikel stayed well away from that because they got themselves into a situation they had no business being involved in. Questions about whether you have Arsene Wenger at the football club. Anyone with half a pea brain will know that the club did not want Arsene Wenger anywhere near any kind of decision making at this football club. They don't even want him at matches. Trust me, he's, you know,
there's a reason he's not been back, mate.
Yeah,
there's a reason welcome.
Yeah, there must have been some sort of agreement where Arsene Wenger and the club just have a bit of a break, and he kind of stayed away. So for Mikel Arteta, for them to all be there, there's nothing wrong with the ex-players being there, but for Mikel Arteta to get himself to be there and and laud this man, and for Arsenal Football Club to even do that, is you just do what you did with George Graham. You don't really want George Graham around at the football club. So what you do is you say, happy birthday, George, our greatest ever manager, 1989, 1991. Get a few lights, slam the door. The same, you could have done this with Arsene Wenger when it's his birthday. You know, you did. So, but you got yourselves involved. You made it a club thing, blah, blah. No doubt it's going to be part of your Amazon thing. And now you're giving yourself a situation because no one at Arsenal Football Club, the current board, do not need or want Arsene Wenger to be part of this club. And I think that a lot of people who are Arsene Wenger fans need to get that, you know, digest it, let it swim around in their brain. If they want to, you know, have a go or get on the punch pads and put me face in it and punch me face, by all means. But just accept it. Arsene Wenger is not needed or wanted at Arsenal Football Club at all, and that's why he's not been invited back, and that's why he won't be invited back. He will have a statue, and if he agrees to have it, that's fine. But in terms of, you know, him wanting to come back to the football club, he's too busy at FIFA, and two, the club's got to move on, and you should move on as well. Mikel Arteta, PR own goal, Arsenal Football Club, typical of you, got yourselves in a situation and made a complete galah of yourself because you're not fooling anyone on this panel. We all know the truth between yourselves and Arsene Wenger, and there's no chance of him having any influence on any decision making at the football club. You wouldn't even ask him for asking for directions to get from Hornsey Road to Seven Sisters Road. So don't kid me.
100%, mate. We already know this, and they don't want him there. Well, hopefully the top people don't want him there. If Mikel Arteta gets his own way, which he has done on pretty much everything since
Mikel Arteta doesn't want him there. What do you expect Mikel Arteta to say? What do you expect to say? Oh yeah, if someone puts a camera in your face, you know, someone says, "Oh yeah, I was thinking, oh of course I want him here. He's the greatest boss we ever seen." What have he said? What the club really wanted to say? No, we need to move on. And
and then there he goes. He's moved on.
Arteta, let's get it right. Arteta, he's an arrogant little prick. You know, I've seen that guy in real life as a footballer on the pitch, and I've seen him as our coach. He's an arrogant little prick. And I've got absolute no time for him. It's not personal to you, Mr. Arteta, because I know you watch me right now, and you know I know you love me. I know you know.
He gets AirPod Albert to take down notes, Jez.
You know, look, mate, Arteta. I'll give you my phone number. Give me a call. and I'll tell you how to set this fucking club up because I can do it in 10 minutes. Now, for some unknown reason, you can't. And that tells me that you're fucking rubbish. And you are rubbish. And you need to fuck off down the lane, or even better. Even better.
You're cracking me up. Fuck off down the lane, mate.
Even better. Fuck off down to the London Stadium. Because I've got too many people telling me West Ham are massive. And like, really? What the fuck have you ever won? I'm taking a piss here. Mate of mine. Lovely. He's a great
mate. They're smashing it at the minute, to be fair.
Yeah, Steady, we got them next week.
Mate, this is what I'm saying. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember this, Jez. I did a show a couple of weeks ago, right? Maybe not even a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week. And I went through our next 8 Premier League fixtures up to the Man City game. Yeah, and I said we'll get 8 points. Maybe it was on the podcast. I can't remember. I said we'll get 11 points out of them 8 games. Right. Well, since then, yeah, we've played Man United. Nil points. No points. We've got Everton next.
What's your score for tomorrow night?
1-1.
You know what? If we had some ball, if we had a pair, and I mean a massive pair, we would go there, score the first goal, and capitalise on the panic that Everton are going to have, because and then boom, go for the kill. They've got no damn Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who Richarlison is basically playing on. The only player that actually turned up in the Merseyside derby, the Mari Gray. And then just think, right, there it is. But we won't do that because the simple reason is that we'll start off pretty quickly. We'll score. And then what will happen is that we'll wait. We'll try and make it compact and then try and hit with a break. Against Everton side, I used to watch under David Moyes. Brilliant style of play to play. But against this team, batter them. Trust me, they make mistakes like it's going out of fashion. You look at the goals they conceded against Liverpool. All of them were mistakes. All of them. None of them was good play of Liverpool. The first goal, the ball over the top, never happens in football. Never happens. No, so the second goal, ball over the top. Yeah, the third goal doesn't happen, mate. That third goal that Salah scored does not happen.
Liverpool, Kenny. We're not Liverpool. That's the problem. We're going to go out there like Burnley. We're going to go and park the bus. We're going to sit tight with our 2 banks of 4, Aubameyang being a left wing back. And,
trust me, if we draw this game,
that's what we do.
Lee, if we draw this game, I promise you, there's going to be meltdowns. It's going to be catastrophic.
Maybe we'll get changed at some point.
4-0. That should be a 4-0 game.
Yeah, for us.
Yeah, it should be a 4-0 game. Yeah.
They're not a good team. They're a disaster.
Yeah, they've got some good players, but they're overall poor. They're a poor team. Yeah, and it's a bit of a poison chalice because Ancelotti went in there and realised that and fucked off to Madrid, right? And now Benitez has gone in there, put his head on the chopping block after being Liverpool manager. Yeah, and I mean, to take the job in the first place, that just shows there's no loyalty in football. Right? So I don't know why people suck up to these players because as soon as somebody else comes along with a few quid extra, they're going. It doesn't matter whether they play for us now. Yeah, if Tottenham came along for Bukayo Saka, right, and we sold him, like let's say we sold Bukayo Saka to Chelsea or to Man City for 75 million, right? Didn't really do it. It weren't going well for him. But then Tottenham come in and bid 60 million for him. Man City say, yep, we'll have some of that. Yep, cheers, we've got most of our money back. He's then going to Tottenham, mate. Let's believe this, yeah? Because this happens all the time. Yeah, not just in management, but in players as well. Right? We see it with Tevez, we've seen it with Sol Campbell, we've seen it with other players. Yeah, it happens all the time. Yeah, in Germany it happens all the time. So
England, they tried to make it happen, but sometimes clubs are just too scared to let it happen. It's scared to happen. I think it happened with Ashley Cole because I think we just all got fed up in the end and said, "Just go, please. If you really want to go, just go." Sol Campbell was like,
"I'm literally going to wet myself."
Yeah. But so what I'm trying to say about in terms of one thing I will say though, there's 2 sides to the story. The first side to the story is that You know, we all say we want to get the best players, get a replacement for Aubameyang, you know, get a top class number 8. Well, the elephant in the room is that what we got to attract a top class centre forward and a top class number 8, or even a top class players in general. We haven't got European football, we haven't got Europa League, and we certainly have, and that's a part of the fact that we haven't got the Champions League. So it's a massive ask to get these players on board, and then, you know, we're being told, and you know, that the mainstays of our team is Smacker and Smith Rowe. All right, what if they have a sensational season next season, or a sensational second half of the season, and Man City come sniffing, or maybe Chelsea come sniffing? You know, who are we to say no, you can't go? What have we got to offer them? You know, you've got the 2 Champions League finalists coming in for those players. Where if Arsenal are going to finish 6th or 7th or 8th, can't fight back, can we? Spurs fought back. Look what's happened with Harry Kane.
Do you think we'll finish 8th, Kenny?
Yes, because the way we're going is that, you know, if you do a projector of the games we got left, and the fact of the teams that are that are in and around us, and the fact that the squads they have, and the fact that the games that they have as well, both teams, Spurs and Man United, are capable of going on a run of games of consecutive wins. And not just consecutive wins. We're not talking consecutive wins of 1-0. We're talking wins about 4-0, 5-0, 2-0, 3-0, where they're not just winning games, but they're winning games well. So what they're doing is that they're you know, like I said, their goals for column increases as well. So they're putting teams in the top 4 under pressure, because they're going to sneak in there, because it could come down to goals. So the most important thing that, you know, that these guys need to look to as well is the fact that, you know, that is what to get us. Now, if you look at Arsenal, we've always been complaining, and I'm not just talking about the first 3 games of the season. I'm talking about even when we were in that 10-game unbeaten run, albeit two of those games were in the Carabao Cup. So let's just say the 8 league games before Liverpool. There were times where, you know, there's clean sheets, but we were always concerned about the last third. And I think until we improve that last third, then we are still going to be difficult to beat. You know, but invariably in key games, we're either going to drop points because we're not potent in the last third, or in games where in the reverse games, like Spurs away, Chelsea away, and all those other games, that's when their firepower will win them the game. There's no dance around that issue. It will happen, because, you know, at the end of the day, we're not strong enough in the last third to, you know, dominate games. We don't play that kind of way. And let's face it,
if we end up 8th at the end of the season, I don't at this point in time seeing us getting rid of Arteta anytime.
You know why we won't get rid of Arteta, though. You know why we won't get rid of. The only way Arteta, you know, becomes you know, an ex-Arsenal manager is down to the fans. It's always the match-going fans who dictate it, because they're the one. No one, and I say this with great respect. Yeah, Arsenal Football Club watch this podcast. They will watch you know, the fan cams, and they may even monitor Twitter. But then again, are they going to take notice of this? Absolutely not. But one thing they used to take notice of, though, were radio phone-ins. But you know, people seem to believe, and I think it's pretty deluded, that YouTube's surpasses radio. It doesn't. Radio phone-ins and mainstream is still the way to go. So that's just factual as well. But the most important thing, stadium fans, be it away fans, who are the most vociferous as well, and home fans, if they stop going, or if they chant and create a stir, then Arteta will be in trouble. At the moment, the stadium fans and the away fans are seem to be more bothered about the fan cams rather than the state of the team at the moment. But that will change because at the end of the day, there's only so much they can put up with.
The thing is, though, Arteta has pretty much, to a point, got a free hit in December because we've got Everton away tomorrow.
Leeds.
Then we've got Southampton home.
Yeah.
Then we've got West Ham home.
Yeah, the Leeds.
Leeds away.
Sunderland in the cup.
Sunderland in the cup. Yeah, so we
Norwich in
away.
And Wolves at home, and then Man City.
So let's be honest. Let's get it right. Out of those, forget the Sunderland game. That's cup. They are game. West Ham. Let's be fair. Fuck me. Years ago, we wouldn't even think about that. We'd just say, that's 3 points. Not this year. So this run, he should be getting 15 points.
And he may get those 15 points, but the thing about it is that that may not be enough, because the fact is, Man United have now got some sort of organisation, and even if they don't have the organisation, they got the buzz of a new boss, and I think Spurs got that as well. And it doesn't change the fact that that we'll get those 15 points. But Man United highly likely, and Tottenham highly likely to get more than those amounts, and they will probably from now until May swap places between 4th and 5th. I can only see that happening.
Yeah.
And maybe West Ham could still be part of that mix, where the 4th place will be between 1 minute is Spurs, then it's Man United, then it's West Ham. But unless we get a goal scorer of high repute, and we start scoring goals in around the team on a regular basis, then we will not be part of that. We'll just be looking in. I don't think we even get into the European places either, because that is how it's getting to a situation now where West Ham are talking about the top 4, but in reality, it's about Europa League and getting there and cementing that spot, and they're scoring the goals that matters to get there around the team. So even then, they're ahead of us in that respect as well.
But the sad thing is, Kenny, and you're the guys in the chat, many seasoned Arsenal fans, been there, seen it, done it, worn the t-shirts, all that. Would you honestly want to see Arsenal in the Champions League? Because I don't want to see us getting raped up the arse every week.
Yes and no, Tess. Yes. The reason why you say yes is because you have that kind of sort of like the little boy in you think, you know what?
You sound like Van Persie.
I know, yeah, but the little boy in you says, well, yeah, I want to be part of that situation. And then the businessman in you says, well, hang on here. We've got now Champions League football now. There's no excuses now. Although we spend a lot of money, we can actually say to, certain players in, La Ligue in France or the Bundesliga, and say, right, we can now offer you Champions League football. Will you come? So the business market and the other, and the fan in me thinks, right, that hang on here, why don't we just have a go of trying to win it? Why is it that when Spurs are in it, for the little time they've been in there, they haven't been intimidated by playing Real Madrid, Dortmund, Bayern Munich. They give them the game in that period and even got to a final. And why are Chelsea, who even before Abramovich had better results in the Champions League than us? Why is it only us?
They've got a proper manager, man. We haven't.
But I'm talking about, in terms of Tottenham under Harry in his first season, he had a better return in the Champions League than a season Arsene Wenger. And I'm talking about Poch as well. And I'm thinking right now is that the Arsenal Football Club have to always be intimidated by playing the big boys. Like, you look at one of the themes yesterday on Twitter was, West Ham have just beaten Chelsea and Liverpool, but our other fans say it's a free hit. So the free hitters are getting turned against because of what's happening at West Ham. And I think that's one of the reasons why I want to get the Champions League, because I want this mentality to stop and say, hang on it, why not? Why are we?
Mate, this season, they've beaten Man City in the Cup. They've beaten Man United. They've beaten Liverpool. Yeah, and they've beaten Chelsea. All four of them we've been beaten by. How can West Ham do it? Yeah, Jared Bowen is quality, man. And we were linked to him when he was at Hull City. Yeah, he is absolutely quality, mate. Lanzini, quality footballer. Fornells, good footballer, man. Really good footballer. Their midfield, Souček and Rice, they're decent. How comes, David Moyes hasn't gone there and spent 240 mil? He spent 80 million. Excuse me, 80 million pounds. Right? And he's inherited a team last season that had a squad of 25 that consisted of 4 goalkeepers, one of which, their main keeper, is our reject. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. If you...
I'm going to ask you the question. We've all thought about it. We've all discussed, or in our own heads, what is it going to take to get him out of our club, Arteta? I mean, what is it going to take?
Thanks.
Loads of losses. Loads of losses in a row. If we lose all the games in December this season, like we did last season,
it won't be.
Then the fans are turning him and he's gone.
It won't be losses. It could, because the other day, it won't even be. It's not. I don't think it'd be losses. I think it'd be objective performances. If we draw against Everton 0-0 after the fact that Liverpool battered them and that they're on their knees and we don't look good going forward, that the fans will turn. They will not accept that draw against Everton. They will, and they certainly won't accept a 0-0. They won't have it. They won't have it. I promise you, they won't have it. That will be the tipping point. I mean, they were furious when we had the audacity to temerity a draw against Crystal Palace. They were angry. That is not necessarily defeats; it's draws. It could be a draw where you think, well, hang on it, I should be going there and smash us. And as Arsenal Football Club, we should be going to win every game. And if that performance is not acceptable in the image and name of the great club that is Arsenal Football Club, then that could turn the fan base. Little things unexpectedly, because what will happen, it will just open up the memory bank with, hang on here, the first 3 games of the season, then last season, enough's enough.
No, mate, listen, it's coming. We know he's going to get sacked at some point. It's just a matter of time.
I'll just say to you, Thursday was the time I was there. It was murky. There was a lot of how can I put it? There was a lot of bad feelings there, and there was a lot of some were like it's work. There's a lot of youngsters there thinking, well, I was chatting to this one lad in the concourse having a beer, and he was like, well, I've never seen Arsenal win anything apart from the FA Cup. I said, fair enough. Fair enough. And he said, well, it is, it's development time. I said, well, how long do you think it should be a development? Well, he said, Liverpool did it for 30 years. I went, really?
How many Champions Leagues did they win in that time?
Really? 30? So I said, how old are you? And he said, I'm 18. I said, so you're going to wait till you're 48 to see Arsenal win?
This is what we're up against, Jez.
I said, you're happy with that, are you?
This is what we're up against.
He said, no, I don't mean that. I said, well, that's what you just said. You're happy to wait 30 years for Arsenal to win a league. No. He said, you have to give it time. I said, I just said to you, I just fucking said to you, I said, how long does it take? And he said, well, you know, it's going to take time. And I said, well, answer my simple question. How long would you give this management team to win a league? And he wouldn't. He couldn't. He just couldn't give me a number. It's going to take time. Yeah.
He's blindly following, the people who've stolen the marks in terms of like the fan opinion. That's all he's done. He's watched a few podcasts, listened to people who Arsenal fans have demanded that they deserve the respect and reverence, or whatever you want to call it. And what he's done is that he's basically well versed in the standard line to use. And then when you ask what that well-versed line is, he ain't got an answer.
You know what I said to him? I actually said to him, I said, you make a fucking good politician, man. I said,
they're all politicians.
You don't answer.
They're all politicians, mate. None of them can give you straight answers. They all go around the houses. Yeah, the fact and reality is, we're the third biggest club in England, right? And one of the biggest and best clubs on the planet, right? We've got a massive income stream. And we have got one of the most expensive, I think it's the 14th most expensive assembled squad in Europe. So why can't we accept, why do we have to accept this crap?
You know what's going to happen, right? That young lad, people who like I said, they've fallen for that narrative because they've stolen the march. All those people are going to watch all three of us and they're going to say, FOFF, and go and support Chelsea if you admire them that much, or go and support Man City if you want to win trophies, or going down the lane. No, and that is always narratives. No, not because we've got ambitions for this football club, and we're going to hold the club to account because we're allowed to support the club a different way to you. Unfortunately, with you guys, is that you've bought into something that you don't know the meaning of it, and you certainly don't know the consequences of the fact of you backing this, because you what you're doing is that you're probably not going to be seeing European football for a long time. You certainly won't be seeing Champions League football. You're going to have a situation where you are going to have to rely on the cups. But let's get it right. Some of those big teams, not only do they want to get in the Champions League because it helps their bank balances, they haven't won a trophy for a while. Like Man United haven't won a trophy in 5 years, getting to the turn of the new year. And then you have Spurs. Well, be 14 years since they won a trophy. So they're going to be putting good, decent teams out against us as well. And West Ham, they haven't won a trophy since, was it 1980?
The funny thing is, though, right? Which is what these people don't seem to understand. They say it's a project, and it takes time, and it's a youth project, and this and that. Right, number one, who's to say that they're all going to blossom at the same time? Because it's never been done other than Man United, right, in this country in '92. Right. Number two, who's to say that Man City don't get hold of one of our players if they blossom, and they blossom early, Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, whoever it may be, right, and come in and say 70 million quid, and we take it. All of a sudden, that's one part of Project Youth disappeared, right? Then what? Were we going to go put the 70 million into two more players or one more player? Well, it makes no sense.
But that is the thing you got. That is what you got to accept. It happened.
And thirdly, sorry, Kenny. Thirdly, right? Who's to say that when these players do blossom, if they blossom, that all these other clubs that are not doing a youth project ain't already miles clear? Because they're already miles clear now. So who's to say that we're going to bridge the gap, by doing it this way when the other clubs are going to go out and spend their way to winning? Which is what we should be doing. We've got the money. Go and buy the best you can buy and go and win the biggest tournament.
But Lee, you can only buy the best you can buy if you have the right manager and, he has a currency of, offering European football, be it the Europa League, or if it's a Europa, because they might come because it's Europa League because they think, hang on here, all right, we might not, top four might be a bit of a challenge, but we can take this Europa League final, seriously. We'll get in the group stages and we win it. So So that's the thing. At the moment, we've left ourselves with the emperor had no clothes syndrome, because we've got nothing to offer.
Mm.
And that's the thing about it, is that if you don't get into Europe next season, or even the Champions League, then the manager has to go, because simple reason is that you've got to salvage this. You can't just rely on commercial TV money. You've got to have you've got to want to have good players come to your football club. It's not enough being the Arsenal now. We know we're the biggest club in the world and we should be always challenging. But we're running out of currency here, mate. Because what good players are going to come to? Forget Maddison. You're talking Maddison's going to come to Arsenal. What with? If he's got ambition, he's going to go to a club that's in Europe, won't he? Wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, his team's in Europe now.
Yeah.
So why would he leave Leicester City, who are probably going to take the Europa League seriously, because who knows, they ain't going to get in the top four because it's too congested now. I think, right, we're going to get into the Champions League by winning the competition. Because remember, we know how to win trophies now, because we won the league in 2016 and the FA Cup last year. So let's win a trophy this time.
Yeah, it's mad. Listen, we're going to wrap this up, people. Big up to Jez and Kenny for coming on. Appreciate it. Big up to everyone in the chat, all the love in the chat. Let's actually see who's live that we like, and we can send all the rats to spam their chat. Let's have a little look. Grizz Khan, my friend Grizz, the Liverpool fan. They're loving life. Divock Origi.
Hello, Grizz. How are you, mate?
Divock Origi, getting them through another game that didn't look like they were going to win. He comes up with some big clutch moments, doesn't he, Divock Origi? And that's what we need to find. Somebody who's happy to play second fiddle that can actually score goals.
You think he's happy to play second fiddle? You think he's happy to say second fiddle? Mind you, if he's going to get a medal at the end of it, yeah, I'd get it.
I've put Grizz's channel link for his video that he's live on now. It's his review of the game yesterday against Wolves. That link is in the chat for everyone. So go and spam his chat. Just put rats. Just say Rat Army Takeover. Lee Gunner sent me. Or just put Lee Gunner sent me and put a rat emoji. Yeah.
Rats.
The rats. Big up to Grizz. Big up to Grizz, man. And big up to all of you lot, man. We're going to wrap this up. Tomorrow, obviously, watch along. It's the usual match day settings. I'll be live an hour before kickoff. So I can actually have a lay-in. I can chill for the day. And then I can sit. I've got popcorn already. I've stocked up on that. And yeah, man, big up to all of you lot, man. Love for everybody being here. Make sure you smash the likes up on this video. Not enough likes. 351 is a disgrace, man. You lot are moving like Arteta on tactics boards. Like, it's crazy. Smash the likes up and go and spam Grizz's chat with rat emojis. League on a takeover. We're out. Arteta out.